Happy Tuesday. The word for you today is being friends with God. The next 2 days we're going to talk about being friends with God. Scripture passage comes out of Exodus chapter 33, verses 12 and 13, and it involves Moses. Moses said to the Lord, "You have been telling me, lead these people, but you've not let me know whom you will send with me. You have said, I know you by name, and you have found favor with me. If I found favor in your eyes, teach me your ways, so I may know you and continue to find favor with you. Remember that this nation is your people." Moses is leading the children of Israel from slavery in Egypt to the promised land, and God is and him having this discussion. So Moses was known as a man who was a friend of God. So how can we be friends with God? Well, we can take some tips from Moses here. First of all, desire God's presence above all others. Desire God's presence. You know, if you have a good friend, you want to be around that person. You want to be around that person more than you do other people. That's what Moses is saying. He's wanting God to be with him. And as long as God is with him, he's okay. But if God's not with him, he's not okay. So desire to be in God's presence. And then number 2, trusting God and having faith in him. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6 says, without faith it is impossible to please God. Trusting God and having faith in him. You know, your friend tells you, I will be at such and such a place at such and such a time, and you have somebody drop you off there, and now you're stranded, and you're trusting that your friend is going to be there. Depending on the trust you have in that friend, of whether you make sure you have transportation or whether it's good enough to be dropped off. Trusting God. If you're good friends with God, you're going to trust God. You're going to say, God, I trust you. The third thing, God gets the glory, not you. You know, you do something very, very well, and somebody else gets the credit. Now, if it's somebody that you don't really know, that's, okay, wait a minute, he didn't do anything about this. But it's maybe a really good friend, and you and your good friend did things together, and your friend is getting the praise for it. Are you okay with that? Is that okay? Well, how about God? When God does something incredible in your life, and people talk about what God did rather than what you did, are you okay with that? Are you saying, you know, I am so glad they're bragging about God. I am so glad that they're giving God praise for that. It's part of being a friend of God. The fourth thing, be yourself with God. God already knows you. He knows what you're thinking. He knows what you're going to do. So you might as well just be yourself. There are people that sometimes we put on fronts with. We put on our best face, and it's it wears us out because we're trying to be somebody that we're not. But with our friends, this is what you see, this is what you get. This is who I am, and you'll either like me or you won't. And there's a real freedom in that. You know, a real freedom in being friends with God is we can just be ourselves because he already knows. He already knows. Just be yourself. There was a magazine publication that was having a contest. They offered a prize for the best definition of a friend. Thousands of answers came in. Here were some of them. One who multiplies joys. A friend is one who multiplies joys, divides grief, and whose honesty is inviolable. Another one says, one who understands our silence. Another one says, a volume of sympathy bound in cloth. Another one says, a watch that beats true for all time and never runs down. But the winner of the contest said this, a friend is the one who comes in when the whole world has gone out. What has God said? God said, I will never leave you or forsake you. You can count on that because he's your best friend. Are you his best friend? Have a good day.